Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshakar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, as all of you are aware, these episodes help us understand emerging companies from emerging sectors, and we make it a point to talk to the promoters and the top management of such companies. This helps us understand, the company's business model, their growth journey, their future growth aspirations and plans. And all this helps our investors to take a very conscious investment call when they invest in such companies. And friends, today we are going to talk about another interesting company which is going to go public very soon. The company we are going to talk today is called Sotefin Bharat Limited. And I have the privilege of having Mr. Jignesh Sanghavi, who's the executive director of the company. Jignesh ji, बहुत बहुत welcome. Sir, thank you for your valuable time.
Thank you, Avinash ji. Thank you for
Yeah.
having such a wonderful discussion with you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So Jignesh ji, first question, which is very elementary, if you could, explain to us in a very simple way, what is the main business of our company? थोड़ा बहुत business model के बारे में समझाइए. And sir, how did this business journey start? Was it a first generation effort, or was it started, by the promoter's father earlier, and then Mr. Arup Chaudhary took over? Sir, थोड़ा सा business journey के बारे में बताइए.
So, Sotefin is basically a Switzerland-based company. The company came into existence in 1956. So, you can say this is practically a third generation, which is which is part of this entire journey.
Yeah.
Sotefin started their activities mainly in European countries. Sotefin is a global leader in fully automated parking systems. So since 1956, this kind of technologies were existing in Europe and in USA. And in 2012, Sotefin came into India, and the company at that time was known as PISA Sotefin when Arup Chaudhary joined Sotefin, and it was a 50-50 understanding, joint venture between PISA and Sotefin. I personally came into the company in 2017, and since then the company from 2014 we completed one project, 2018 we completed one project of robotic car parking systems, and thereafter till today we have completed almost 50 projects, and looking forward we have another 30 odd projects under execution. So we are
Okay.
global leader in fully automated parking systems. And
Okay.
our main forte is other than stack parking, puzzle parking, tower parking, which are the known names in the market, but we are robotic parking systems. So actually the robot travels below the car and picks up the car and parks the
Okay. No, understood.
car. Yes.
Jignesh ji, now one thing, let me tell you that typically, I wanted to know that, is the technology provided by Sotefin exclusively given to us? Like, there is a software which is also there, plus obviously the technology support is there for the equipment. Sir, if you could tell us, how does the technology agreement work for us? Do we get this access for this technology, at our service, so that, we can cater to a client? Something on the technological aspect which we have as a USP, because we have a very close relationship with the Switzerland company. If you could please tell us in brief.
See, first of all, Switzerland company itself is a shareholder in the company, number one. Number two, when we started operations in India, we had a frame supply agreement for the technology, and we are the exclusive technology partner with the Swiss original company. That is why even the Indian name itself is retained as Sotefin only. So
Okay.
it is not changed to any other name, number one. Secondly, in this entire process of past 12 years of journey in India, we have also developed various technologies in collaboration with Sotefin. And right now, technology is in possession of both the companies, that is Sotefin parent company and Sotefin Bharat Limited. That is the
Okay.
Indian entity of the Sotefin company.
Okay. Fine. Understood. Jignesh ji, now tell me one thing in a very simple way. Since we have visited your facility, we have seen how this automatic car parking works. I want to understand, sir, normally, how does the process of acquiring the customer start? Does it start when the building or the tower is being constructed? And secondly, in our business, is there any fixed AMC business also which we enjoy? Sir, if you can explain this in a brief way to our investors.
Yes, yes. See, first of all, we come into the place. It is a very niche segment. So we come into the play when there is a space crunch. Now, due to massive urbanization taking place of various cities across the globe, and specifically I will talk about India, where cities like Mumbai's MMR region, then in Delhi, NCR region, Bengaluru. So massive urbanization is taking place. We are expecting almost 60-65% of the country's population to be urbanized by 2035 as per the government data. Now this results into space crunch, and due to massive development and redevelopment activities, the need for parking has increased because the government has increased in their master plan the overall consumption of FSI or FAR, what we call it, and that's why the need for parking has increased. So the classic example is the city of Mumbai. If you see that out of 24 lakh registered vehicles, four-wheelers I am only talking about, almost one third of the vehicles are parked on the streets, and because of which the streets are basically occupied by the car parkings, the traffic flow intensity has reduced, and now government is taken up seriously to construct all these parking spaces. So that is one space that is called public parking spaces. And secondly, we are also in demand by the developers because they are going for redevelopment or development in these space crunch cities. So that is where also parkings are required. So that is where also we have a big scope. So, and we are doing many projects for various developers in city of Mumbai.
Okay, understood. Sir, I was also wanting to know, like, typically when we, get associated with any builder, either government or private, is there any AMC clause also put along with the, the equipment which we supply? So, इसमें कोई AMC होता है? And typically,
Yes.
sir, I wanted to also understand that typically, I mean, is this entire project cost built into the cost of the tower project? Because, the infrastructure is a very large infrastructure. So all this cost is actually taken care by the builder, and then of course it is spread across rentals which are charged from the customers. How does the recovery of the money come from the customer side? Because if it is a commercial tower, then obviously the client who comes and takes an office and obviously takes the car parking, does he have to obviously pay some amount so that that cost is amortized over a period of time? If you could please tell us.
Yeah. So the first I will tell you some information about AMC. So AMC is always a part of the contract, and it
Okay.
varies for a period of 3 years to 20 years for maintenance, overall comprehensive maintenance of the system, including operation and maintenance. So even today also AMC is part of all our projects, and
Okay.
this is going to be continued because it is a very sophisticated technology. So AMC is part of the system provider only, the technology provider only. Is number one. Yes. In case of developer, we are only system provider and technology provider. All the recovery of the cost and everything is in the scope of the developer itself. In case of government, government charges the parking fees, the regular government parking fees from all the users of these parking facilities. And that is where also we are not part of that particular scope of the work. Only our software help is taken by the government to collect these fees and get it deposited in the government account directly.
Okay.
So that is where our software comes into the play, but we are not directly involved with the collection of any fees for the public parking facility.
Okay. Understood. Acha, Jignesh ji, now when we talk about the the current revenue which the company has earned, how much of it has come from government and private and semi-government bodies? If you could give us a rough breakup, how is the distribution of revenue coming from which customer segment?
Yeah. So out of my total revenue, as on date 26, around 65-70% has come from government and 25 to 30% has come from private developers. So this is
Okay.
my as on March 26. Going forward, we see this government revenue may get slightly reduced to around 55%, and private revenue will increase to around 45%. But overall, this ratio will remain in the range of 55, 45 to 60% to 40%.
Okay. Fine. And Jignesh ji, now when we talk about government, which is a large percentage presently for our business, sir, how much time does it take for you to actually crack the order? Like, for example, you come to know there is a tender for a particular building or a tower, you apply for that tender, then in how much time do we get a final clearance that yes, we can build the parking space there? Sir, kitna time normally लगता है to get it, approved and then to commission it for the client? If you can give us some idea.
See, with the government, how it starts. Generally, in the master plan, wherever the space is provided for public parking spaces, Now, you know, because of scarcity of parking spaces, there are very few spaces available in the city of Mumbai or Bangalore or Delhi. So they first of all give us the location where this is to be done. We conceptualize the whole thing. We submit the entire presentation to the government. From that stage to the tendering stage, it is a process of almost 6 months, 3 to 6 months. Thereafter, from the date of once the tendering is done, and if we are the winner of that particular bid, then in that case, from the date of work order till the completion of the work, the entire period is around 2 to 3 years.
Okay, understood. So it's a very fairly long gestation project, but a very sticky business, according to what you have told us.
Yes,
Sir,
yes, yes.
now just let us understand, the macro opportunity. Of course, you mentioned it in your earlier answer that parking is a very acute problem for a city like Mumbai, Delhi. Sir, typically, according to you, in the next say 3 to 5 years, what is the market opportunity available for us? I also saw in the prospectus that we are largely present in Mumbai and Delhi. Of course, there are other cities also. Sir, tell us one thing that second question is, sir, are we planning to move out of Mumbai and Delhi because almost 80-85% is coming from these two,
Right.
places for the company. आगे चल के sir, are we planning to move in a much stronger way in other cities? Although some small bits and pieces of revenues have come from other locations, but Mumbai, Delhi is
Yes.
very large. So second question is, can we increase our presence across many other states? And secondly, sir, what is the size of the opportunity?
Yes. As far as the other cities are concerned, right now we are focusing on Bangalore, number one, NCR region, Delhi, number two. We are focusing in Pune right now. That is where the demand is there. And other than that, there are small tier two cities. Like we are doing right now one project in Varanasi also. We have an inquiry for Ayodhya also, Lucknow also. So these are the cities where we are right now having active discussions at a very advanced stage.
Okay.
So we are definitely expanding to various cities, but we are having very step-by-step approach. So because these are all technology-driven business, so we have to first explain the technology to the client. They come, they see the other sites and robotic technology. For your information, let me tell you one thing that today adopting this robotic technology, which is the world's most advanced technology, there is no other technology better than this in the parking system, and India stands number one in adopting this today. Even though we started quite late, but today the projects invited by the government for public parking spaces in robotic parking space, India stands number one compared to any other country in the world. So this is the kind of adoption of the technology.
Okay. Understood.
Yes.
Sir, nicely put out. Now, I just wanted to understand, sir, in every business, there is some local competition. So, do we have any competition? Because, from whatever sources have been provided by the prospectors, I saw that, there are one or two local players. Please, correct me if I'm wrong. Sir, companies like, Wipro Vari is there or Parksons is there. Sir, where are we positioned in the market? Like, it is a very selective space. It's not meant for everybody because technology is very important. Sir, what is the competitive intensity in this business? Like, typically, where do we stand in the market if we compare ourselves with the other competitors?
Yes. Now see, any type of parking system basically falls under a generic name called electromechanical parking systems. So we are aware about stack parking, we are aware about puzzle parking, we are aware about tower parking. These are all pallet-based parking where every car is parked on a steel pallet and the pallet moves and the car moves, right? But there is a limitation to the density of the car to be parked. There is a limitation to various other technological things. So in that particular space, there are at least 50 players in the country. So what the names you just now said, Wipro Pari or all those things, those are automated parking systems or semi-automated parking
Correct.
systems. As far as robotic parking system is concerned, we are global leader number one. Then behind us, there is a company called Vior from Germany. So they are also into robotic parking system. And there is one company from Korea also based upon Chinese technology. They are also into robotic parking system.
Okay.
Now the Korean company does not have a presence in India. Vior has a presence in India. But in terms of projects executed in robotic parking spaces, we are far, far ahead of any other competitor. So practically at a global level, you can say there are maximum 3 to 4 players available in the robotic parking space, whereas
Okay.
we are the oldest company holding various patents in this particular thing. And
Okay.
in terms of technology, we are at least 15 to 20 years ahead of any other next technology available in the robotic parking space.
Okay. I think nicely put out. Jignesh ji, this puts me to the next important question which most investors would like to know. Is that, sir, in terms of qualitative assessment, you said in terms of technology, you're far ahead of all the competitors, which is obvious because parent is very old. Sir, tell us, how have you positioned your business that you get good amount of repeat business also? Customers come to know about you through some other, establishment and they come to you. Sir, two, three qualitative points which separate us from competition. If you could tell us two, 3 points which can actually help our investors understand, our company in a better way.
Right, right. So now after completing few projects with the governments like CPWD Central Vista in Delhi, Ministry of Defense, now whatever future projects are there after showcasing our technology, the customers are repeated as far as Delhi is concerned, including Municipal Corporation of Delhi. We are at an advanced stage of discussion with Delhi Development Authority also, as far as Delhi is concerned. In Mumbai, we have executed projects for BMC, MMRDA. These are the organizations for whom we are executing the projects. There also, the future orders are going to be kind of a repetitive order in terms of technology, number one. As far as private developers are concerned, yes, they are, most of them are repetitive. After looking at our products, technology, safety standards. Now, in case of safety, let me tell you, Sotefin Bharat is the only company who holds TUV certification from Germany, highest safety standard certification, CE certification available in the world. And it is the only company who holds this certification for automated parking systems. So that is what we can proudly say. So the one who understands the quality, the one who understands the safety requirement, because you must have read in various newspaper articles like pilots come crashing, the car crashed in the parking tower. So these are all safety issues basically, and those are not taken care by other players because they are dependent more on a kind of a the drawings available in the market and then do it in a very crude way, the works. Whereas we have done our own research, development, 70 years of legacy and a Swiss backup completely. Swiss, they are the best in the world as far as the precision tool and the technologies are concerned. So that is where we have the USP. And that is the difference. And once the client understands all these things, then they are fixed clients for us.
Sir, I think rightly said by you, sir. Sir, now tell me one thing. We also have, got information, of course, from the prospectus and the presentation saying that in future the company also plans to diversify into other ancillary kind of products like container services, typically other services which are similar to your robotic car parking. Sir, anything you could tell us on this, maybe in a little way so that we can understand what could be the new products also which can come, maybe not now, but maybe in the future. If you can give us a little brief idea.
We are diversifying into two new technologies along with my car parking. That is, one is automated multi-level bus parkings. So our system will carry the weight up to 30 tons for automated bus parking. So in a very limited space, you can have more number of buses that will be parked for up to 20 floors by
Okay.
automated system. Okay. And similarly, we are diversifying into port sector where we have already developed a technology for automated storage and retrieval system for containers at the port. So you must have observed that ports are now expanding, the global trade is also expanding, and limited space available at the port. So whatever the space is available within which they want to expand the capacity, then they have to go for an automation. There is no other
Correct.
solution than automation. So
Correct.
that is where we come into the play, and we have provided that technology. And we also got recently confirmation also, and it is going to be the first technology made in India, delivered by India to the world in port
Okay.
sector.
Okay. So we can
First
expect
time
some
in the
good
world.
news. Sir, we can expect some good news in the very near term, at least maybe after some time, on this development, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
Acha, sir, now coming to the financials, if you could briefly tell us, what has been the performance in FY26? Because I had the old prospectus, so we don't have the latest numbers. But sir, what has been the top line for FY26? What has been the profit after tax? I believe it has been a very strong year. So, sir, if you could please share the numbers and then tell us what were the key reasons for this very strong performance which came from the company's side.
Right. So basically, FY26, our audited statement, as per our audited statement, we have a top line of around 117 crore rupees and PAT of around 17 crore rupees. That is a PAT of around 15%, which is a growth of almost 30-35% from the previous year's PAT, which is around 11.5%. And prior to that, it was around 8%. So year on year, our PAT is increasing by around 25% to 30%. And this kind
Okay.
of growth, we are going to look into the near future also.
Okay. Acha, Jignesh ji, now one thing I wanted to understand, I was reading the raw material cost. A certain amount of raw materials have been imported from Sotefin. Like,
Yes.
going forward, what is the company's strategy? Because first of all, how are these imported components sourced? Because, this is obviously related to the currency. With the rupee depreciating, obviously it affects our raw material cost. But tell me one thing, that typically how do we source the raw materials currently from Sotefin? And secondly, are there any plans to completely indigenize the raw material content for us going forward?
Yes. So we are not sourcing any raw material from Sotefin. We are sourcing only robos from Sotefin. So right,
Correct.
the robos are getting manufactured in Switzerland and which
Yeah.
we are importing to India for our installation.
Okay.
80% is right now made in India. Around 20-25% is from Sotefin parent company. Going forward, around January 2028, the part of these IP proceeds will be utilized for our phase 2 expansion of our manufacturing facility at Howrah in West Bengal, where we have the manufacturing facility, where we are going to manufacture robos also in India. So
Okay.
after completing from Jan 28, the 100% it will be made in India with technology transfer. And not only that, the Sotefin Bharat India manufacturing facility will be the global hub of Sotefin manufacturing and to be exported from India to all the parts of the world, wherever even the Indian company as well as my parent company is executing the project in any part of the world. So that is
Okay.
going forward is the strategy.
Okay. Acha, Jignesh ji, if you could tell us, again, for the benefit of our viewers, that what is the current order book and in what time is this order book going to be executed?
So the current unexecuted confirmed order book is around 540 crore rupees to be completed over a period of 2 to 3 years.
Okay. Understood. And sir, today I just wanted to know two, three important things. Like typically when we get an order from the customer, a confirmed order, do we get any advance from the customer, or is it like only the payment is made entirely after the entire project is completed and then the company is paid? And secondly, sir, in case the raw material, I mean the robot cost, as you said, are imported, in case the currency depreciates and the cost slightly goes up, then is there any kind of flexibility in the pricing which we have with customers? And typically, how is this pricing worked out? Is it a tender based contract, or is it customized, or is it relationship based? Sir, if you could please tell us.
Yeah. So as far as the private is concerned, it is all one-to-one negotiation. And when we get the work from a private developer, the basic rate of euro is mentioned in the rate. So if there is any deviation in the foreign fluctuation due to foreign fluctuation, we get compensated by the customers, number one. Number two, along with the orders, we do get advance as far as developers, government is also concerned. Government advance is against the bank guarantees, private advance sometimes against the bank guarantees, sometimes against the orders. And the
Okay.
advance generally varies around 3% to 5%. So this is the
Okay.
kind of advance we getting. So that is how the work starts. But
Okay.
all these fluctuation in foreign currencies are well protected in our contracts.
Okay. So do you do any hedging, sir? Basically, does the company do any hedging, or basically it is completely unhedged? I just wanted to know that is it comfortably recovered from the customers, or do you internally do
Yes,
any
yes,
hedging
yes.
to ensure that your raw material cost is not volatile?
Some margins we do keep it, but we mention the basic rates of steel and euro fluctuation. So if
Okay.
there is any fluctuation, it is clearly mentioned in our contract in these
Okay.
two rates. Then, because what we have observed from our past experience, even if there is any fluctuation, it is in basically these two rates only. So
Ah,
that is
okay.
well protected in our contracts. Internally also, we have kept some margins for that. So that is
Okay.
also we do the double protection.
Understood. Acha, Jignesh ji, now for the most important question for today, we are going public, so it's a big achievement for you, your entire, management team. Sir, I just wanted to know how much money are we planning to raise from the capital market, and for what purpose is this money going to be used? If you could please tell us.
Yeah. So we are our IPO size is approximately 90 crore rupees. So we are raising 90 crore rupees, out of which almost 20 crore rupees will go into my phase two expansion of the manufacturing facility for robots. Number one, around 40-45 crore rupees is for my working capital. Around 10 crore rupees for general corporate allowance, what is given by the as per the rules, and the balance goes for my all expenses towards my IPO. So that is
Oh,
how the entire money is going to be utilized.
okay. Acha, sir, Jignesh ji, one thing I wanted to understand since you mentioned about working capital, sir, typically what is the working capital cycle? Because whatever data we had got, the old draft prospectus with us, I was observing that first quarter, we had turnover of 31 crores, but the working capital requirement was almost 50 crores. So typically, how long is the working capital cycle? And is it a big challenge to recover money from government? Of course, the money will be coming. The money will not, be not be paid, but typically, is the working capital cycle slightly elongated for government customers as compared to private customers?
I would not say so. Initially, it was so. Now it has my reduced. Now currently my working capital is around cycle is around 180 days, which will eventually get by end half yearly, like by September end, will get reduced to around 130-140 days only from 180
Okay,
days.
okay,
And going forward, now when we are formulating new contracts with the government, see, initially we have to show the technology to somebody. So no
correct,
to pay you money the way you want it. First, I have to
correct,
showcase my capability, and then only my money is released based upon the completion of milestones.
correct.
So now the government has seen our performance, they have seen our products, they have seen our operations and being operated for many years. Now the confidence level has increased. Now the government is ready to pay also quite earlier, right? So
Okay,
that way my working capital cycle will get also reduced in the future going forward. That is what we see right now.
okay. Understood. Acha, Jignesh ji, now just one elementary question. Currently, how many workmen and employees do we have on rolls? And secondly, sir, I believe this company has got a very well laid out management team. We have Mr. Arup Chaudhary, who's the promoter managing director. You are also there in the top management team. Sir, if you could tell us functionally, what is your main role in the company? Typically, what areas do you look? Do we look at marketing, sales, finance? If you could tell about yourself and typically, what is the total workforce as of now?
So total workforce in the company is around 147 people as of today. So that is the total workforce. That includes my manufacturing facilities, my field staff completely, my operation and maintenance staff, execution staff, and my office staff. Right. As far as top management is concerned, Arup Chaudhary is a chairman and managing director, the main technical brain behind this particular technology, and he has a vast experience of almost 4 decades in various technologies and infra segments. So that is what he brings in. So he looks after mainly the production, the engineering, the operation part of the entire factory, the accounts and everything. So our registered office, head office is in Calcutta. I
Oh,
look after business development. I look after my licensing. I look after my finances. So all those things I take care of it. Arupji mainly takes care of, and as far as the government and the private is concerned, the Arupji looks into all the private side of the business. I look into completely the government side of the business.
okay. Well, understood. Acha, Jignesh ji, now tell me one thing. You mentioned in your earlier answers that Sotefin controls almost 50% equity. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Sir, tell me one thing. What is the role of Sotefin now in terms of technology, in terms of support? How can we be rest assured that this support will continue in future also? Of course, the relationship is very strong. But I want to know what exactly value addition does the foreign collaborator provide to us?
See, first of all, it is a family, number one. So even Indian company is also part of the larger family. Okay. Now, Swiss companies, once they marry, they don't leave us. Thirdly, they have already done transfer of technology. So
Correct,
technology is also with us. And even none of our promoters have done any offer for sale also. So we
correct.
have kept our equities as it is. So that is where our commitment comes as far as our organization is concerned. We
Correct.
know where we are heading for, and that is the level of confidence we have.
Correct.
And obviously, in future, whatever the new diversifications we are doing, the Sotefin parent company and the Indian entity both are working in collaboration with each other. Inputs are flowing from both the directions, and it's a joint technology which we are introducing to the world. So that is
Okay.
how we are working for the future projects also. And
Okay.
fortunately, today Sotefin is having this kind of an arrangement with nobody else other than an Indian entity in the world.
Okay. Understood. I think that shows the kind of credibility and confidence
Yes.
the collaborators have in the Indian management. Sir, last question for today, which we ask all the promoters. Sir, we have seen COVID. Now things have gradually improved for the better. Sir, tell me one thing. What is the most important risk in our business? Although we have a very large order book, our technology is sound, product is well accepted, but every business has got some risk. So, sir, typically, according to you, what could be the most important risk which you monitor on a day-to-day basis?
On day-to-day basis, I don't see any risk except for sometimes supply chain gets affected because of all these conflicts going on globally. But
Correct.
even in those cases also, our import is restricted to only 20%, that is robos, and we
Ah,
can airlift them. So we have done that in the past also, and now also we are doing it. So in airlift, it reaches here in 5 to 6 days. So that is not
okay,
a problem for us. Those are
okay,
not huge or big components which needs to be shipped only. We can
correct.
do airlift also. So
Okay,
that's how we serve our customers. We don't see any such risk. Yes, due to economic meltdown or due to slowdown of the economy, sometimes that the things get slowed down, but that is across the sector. So it
correct.
is not only that Sotefin is immune to all these kinds of issues, but in fact, let me tell you the fact during the peak of the COVID, when the COVID started, we got an order for one Central Vista project, and we
Okay,
completed in the peak of the COVID within 12 months. That
okay.
project when the India was shut down. I
Ah,
used to travel one person flight when the flights were started from Mumbai to Delhi. And
okay,
we executed that project in that peak of the COVID, and we
okay,
completed, and it was inaugurated by the Honorable Prime Minister at that time.
okay, okay. Okay. I think very nicely put out, and I think it means that the runway for growth for us is definitely very strong. Sir, it was a
Right.
pleasure for me to talk to you, Jignesh ji. Thank you very much, and sir, best wishes to you, your entire management team, and sir, best wishes for your public issue also. Thank you.
Thank you, Avinash. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.